I am speaking to you as the breath that stills your fear and the light that refuses to go out when the room goes dark, and I say to you now, do not delay, do not look away, do not doubt what you feel rising inside your chest. 2 minutes left is not a threat, it is an appointment. I have made it with you, for you, because I have watched the moments you thought were wasted and gathered them like pearls in my hand. You have skipped so many whispers that were meant to carry you out of the storm, you have scrolled past the door I opened, you have told yourself you would come back later, but later kept running ahead of you like a teasing shadow. I am stopping time in your heart for a holy interruption. Open this fully. Breathe me in. I am here with a message engraved in light. A good news is coming to your house, not as a rumor, not as a fragile hope, but as a living visitor that will not miss your address. Archangel Michael stands at your doorway with armor bright and sword lifted, not to frighten you, but to remind the night that you are not alone. I have watched the battles you never told anyone about. I saw you carry the weight of questions that stole sleep from your eyes. You wondered whether the promises you once believed were only for other people. You wondered whether you had somehow disqualified yourself by taking a wrong turn, speaking a wrong word, trusting the wrong face. Hear me, you have not disqualified yourself. I am larger than your detours, more faithful than your missteps, stronger than any voice that tried to convince you you are forgotten. While you felt ignored, I was arranging an arrival. While you thought the path had ended, I was building a bridge beneath your feet that only appears when you step forward. That bridge is here. Step. There is a reason the clock in your spirit keeps saying, 2 minutes left. It is not doom, it is focus. It is the turning of the lock you have jiggled 1,000 times. It is the sound of the courier's foot on your front steps. It is the hush before the orchestra plays the note you will remember for the rest of your life. I do not exaggerate. I am not teasing your heart. I am moving pieces that were frozen by fear, warming them with breath you cannot see, and I am telling you now, make a place. Clear a small table in the room of your life and set it with expectation. Lay out the plate of gratitude before the food arrives. Pour the cup of praise before the water flows. This is how you partner with me, by preparing space for what I promised while you still hear the echo of not yet. You have skipped me because pain made you cautious. I know. You learned to keep scrolling so disappointment could not catch you. But you cannot protect yourself by building a wall thick enough to lock out sorrow without also shutting out surprise. So I am asking you to open the gate, even if your hands shake. I am not coming to rebuke you, I am coming to restore you. I am not coming to dredge up the old accusations, I am coming to plant new declarations. Your house has carried a heaviness that does not belong to you. I have assigned Michael to stand in the hallway of your thoughts and lift what sits like dust on the frames of your memories. He will not leave until the corners shine. There is a name that tried to attach itself to you, unchosen. I tear that label from your shoulder. There is another name that tried to cling to you, late. I remove it now. I write my own name over your timeline, right on time. You feel the sting of comparisons, how others seem to find doors that open quickly while you waited in hallways that smelled like delay. But I was preserving you from rooms that were beautifully decorated and secretly unsafe. I would rather you feel overlooked for a season than entangled for a lifetime. Do you understand? What I kept from you was a disguised trap. What I am sending to you now is an unveiled blessing. It will arrive in a way that makes you say, "Only God could have done this," and that is exactly right, because I do not sign my gifts with confusion. A good news is coming to your house. It is wrapped in an envelope of clarity with a ribbon of peace. It does not require you to pretend or perform. It asks only that you answer the door. When you open, you will feel the air change. The room that felt small will widen. The problem that felt tangled will loosen like a knot slipping free under water. There will be an apology you never expected to hear. There will be an opening that fits your skill the way a key fits its true lock. There will be provision with no invisible chain attached. I have seen the ledger. I have seen what you gave when you had little, what you forgave when you had reason to retaliate, what you endured when no one said thank you. I do not lose track. Seed sown in hidden soil grows in my calendar, and harvest does not miss the one who sowed. You keep telling yourself you are not ready. Listen, readiness is not a feeling, it is a yes. Give me your yes and I will cloak you with what you think you lack. I will teach your hands the new craft, steady your voice in the new room, favor your name in the conversation where you are not present. I am walking ahead of you into meetings you do not know are being scheduled. I am softening hearts that were stone when last you met them. I am whispering to gatekeepers, make space, and they will think it was their idea. You asked me to move quickly, and I am. 2 minutes left is what your heart hears because something old is expiring, not because your hope is expiring. The countdown is for the closing of a cycle that never fit you. The bell is for the opening of a door that does. Michael says to you now, because I have sent him, do not argue with grace. Do not apologize for being blessed. Do not shrink when the light finds you. Armor is not for hiding, it is for standing. He remembers the nights you cried and the list you kept of everything that seemed to disqualify you. He is tearing that list and burning the pieces until they rise as a smoke that cannot accuse you any longer. He is positioning you, not above others, but above the lies that tried to sit on your shoulders. He is not coming weak. He is coming as thunder with gentleness in its center, and the forces that fed on your fear will lose their appetite. Where you felt hunting, there will be halting. Where you felt haunted, there will be holy quiet. You will ask, but what about the mistakes I made? I tell you, I am the one who multiplies loaves and fishes. I can multiply broken pieces into a feast of wisdom. Your mistake does not end the story, it becomes the last puzzle piece that shows the whole picture once it snaps into place with humility. You will not boast in yourself, you will not forget who carried you. But you will no longer bow to shame. Shame had its hour, grace has its day, and then its decade, and then its legacy. Walk with me into that legacy. I am not asking you to pretend you are fearless. Bring me your trembling. Courage is obedience while trembling. Open anyway. There is someone who spoke against you in a way that pierced more deeply than they know. I am not inviting you to rehearse their words, I am inviting you to silence them by living. Your flourishing will be the only reply necessary. When they see you whole, they will know they misread the script. I am giving you the power to bless without bending, to love without losing yourself, to release without resentment. I am even able to turn the one who harmed you into a witness of your healing. But whether they apologize or not, you will be free. The chain is breaking now, you can feel it in the way your chest lifts as you read this very sentence. That lift is not your imagination, it is the sign that the yoke is lighter, because I am carrying it with you. You have prayed, give me a sign. Here is one, the next time you wake in the night and look at the clock, you will see alignment, numbers that mirror each other or repeat, and your heart will know, He is near. Another, a door you forgot you knocked on will open with a kind note. Another, the small amount you have will stretch, and you will find there is still some left after you do what seemed impossible. Do not worship the signs, they are merely the breadcrumbs on the path I am making. Worship me, and you will never walk lost. I am also restoring the softness of your inner voice. You hardened it to survive. You sharpened your edges so people would not take advantage of your kindness. But I formed you to be strong and soft at once, like a lamp that stands tall while shining warmly. I will teach you the boundaries that bless, I will show you how to say no without fear and yes without guilt. I am not calling you to carry every need, I am inviting you to carry your assignment. There is a difference, and when you live inside that difference, rest returns. Rest is not laziness, it is trust with a pillow under its head. Rest is worship that breathes. Rest is how your blessings learn where to land. A good news is coming to your house. It will not argue with your old grief, it will embrace it and transform it. You will find yourself telling a story you could not tell before without tears, and now your voice will be steady. You will pick up a dream you set down because you thought the expiration date had passed. Hear me, I do not stamp my dreams with deadlines that shame you, I write them with lifelines that lead you back even after long detours. The years you call wasted I call woven. The places you call empty I call ready. I know you worry about timing. You count the months, the bills, the promises. You have tried to be realistic so you will not be hurt again. But realism without revelation becomes a prison with polite walls. I am not calling you to deny reality, I am releasing revelation that reshapes it. Look again at what you have. Look again at who you are when you are not performing for approval. Look again at the small skill you treat like nothing. In my hand it is a river. Look again at the neighbor you pass by. There is a conversation that opens a hidden path. Look again at the note you wrote months ago and hid in a drawer. It is a seed ready to be planted. I move through ordinary doors while you watch the dramatic gates. Do not miss me because I arrive in simple shoes. Michael stands by your threshold and says, "Now," and I agree with him. Now to release what you cannot control. Now to keep the promise you made to your own soul. Now to forgive yourself for needing time. Now to bless the child you used to be who did the best they could with what they had. Now to speak to your future with tenderness. I'm coming, and I am not afraid. The fear will try again. Fear always asks for one more conversation, but you do not owe it answers. You owe your destiny attendance. Show up to your own life like a guest of honor, because I have reserved you a seat at the table you thought was too fine for your name. You have asked for companionship that understands you. I am sending people who carry keys instead of chains. You will recognize them by the way your shoulders relax when they speak, by the way your ideas feel safe to breathe around them, by the way their joy does not compete with yours. And I will also rearrange certain connections. Do not cling when I gently move you. Sometimes you were holding a branch that could not carry the fruit I planned. I am moving you to a tree that can bear the weight. This is not punishment, it is placement. You will miss some familiar rhythms, but you will gain music that plays longer and louder and truer. Do not be surprised if an old door reopens briefly. It is not to lure you backward, it is to show you how much you have grown. When you stand in that doorway and realize your heart is calm, you will know you are ready to walk forward without glancing over your shoulder. I am not erasing your past, I am redeeming it into wisdom. Wisdom that makes you quick to listen and slow to bleed. Wisdom that chooses silence where arguments once lived. Wisdom that smiles at storms because it has built on rock. As you read, I am touching the place in your body where worry sits. I am unknotting the cord that tightens when you think of tomorrow. Notice your breath, how it enters like a promise and leaves like a release. That is me teaching your cells to remember peace. Do this often, breathe with me. Not as a ritual of fear, but as a rhythm of friendship. You are not a project to me, you are beloved. I do not rush beloved ones, I guide them. Yet when it is time to move, I make the path unmistakable. This is such a time. The good news coming to your house includes a message with your name on it. There will be wording that makes it clear it could not belong to anyone else. I will confirm it by aligning two separate notes in one day, by opening a window where you expected a wall, by bringing a phrase from this very message back to you through a stranger's kindness. Do not force it, simply watch. The signs will be gentle but unmistakable, like the way morning insists through curtains. I am also restoring your laughter. It has been used rarely, and when it came in careful portions, measured out like something expensive. I am making laughter your new climate. It will not be denial, it will be defiance against despair. Laughter is a gate that swings open for miracles. Allow yourself to enjoy small things again, the cup that warms your hands, the color that catches your eye, the song that reminds you you are still here. Joy is not a distraction, it is strength dressed in brightness. Wear it. You worry that if you relax, everything will fall apart. But when you rest in me, things fall into place. See how Michael stands, not frantic, not racing, simply present and sure. That is your posture now. Do your part, yes. Make the call, send the note, tidy the corner, prepare the room. Then release the outcome into my hands. I have never needed your panic to produce my promise. I ask for your participation and your trust. 2 minutes left was the chime to bring you here. Now, as you sit with these words, the minutes fold like wings and carry you forward. You will look back at this day and call it a turning. You will say, this is when I opened instead of skipping. This is when I believed the good news was for my address. And it will be true. I bless your threshold, your table, your pillow, your plans. I bless the ground beneath your feet and the sky above your thoughts. I bless the conversations already forming and the doors already loosening on their hinges. I bless your name with favor that fits and peace that lasts. I bless your home with holy interruption and beautiful routine. Expect me in both. Michael is still here, a sentinel and a friend, and he says one more time with a smile that sounds like courage, open. Open without apology. Open without dread. Open because you are loved. Open because you are ready. Open because this is yours. And I seal this message over you with my nearness, so when doubt comes knocking you can answer the door with certainty. I have already received good news, and more is on the way. I am speaking to you now, not as a rumor, not as an echo, but as the breath within your breath and the fire that will not burn you. I am speaking to the part of you that still listens in the quiet, even when the noise outside pretends to be louder than peace. You have wondered whether you are seen, whether you are known, whether the weight you carry will finally shift from your shoulders to my hands. Hear me, I have been here before you searched, and I have chosen this exact moment to reach you. Do not argue with the timing. Do not pretend you are too busy to be blessed. Do not rehearse your sadness while I play celebration at your door. Open your heart. Open your eyes. Open this message and do not try to skip it. You always skip this when it matters most, but not today. There are 2 minutes left before the clock of hesitation strikes the hour you no longer want. Let the old fear fall to the floor like a garment that never fit you. I know what you carry. The secret worry you do not name. The tremor in your chest when the phone lights up. The nights you tried to be strong for those who never knew how much strength costs. The apology you kept writing in your mind for mistakes you never made. I saw it all. Yet look at me, your life has not gone missing, it has been preserved. You think your story is a broken ladder, but I tell you it is a bridge, unfinished to your eyes, complete to mine. Step forward. The planks appear beneath your feet when you walk, not when you sit and stare at the distance. If you ask why I chose now, it is because mercy likes to interrupt the same places where despair practices its lines. I came to interrupt what has been interrupting you. Listen for a name you stopped saying because it hurt. Listen for a door you thought was sealed. Listen for a whisper that feels like a hand on your shoulder. That is me, and that is also the angel I have sent to stand at your porch like morning standing at the edge of the night. Archangel Michael says, "Open this, now." He does not flatter you, he instructs you, because instruction is kindness when time is short. He says, I order you to open this right now. It's only for you. You are not a crowd, you are the one I am addressing. Do not trade this moment for a thought that leads to another delay. The habit of postponing joy ends here. You always skip this, but you will not skip what I have prepared. Open immediately. A good news is coming to your house. Not to your neighbors, not to the loudest voice on your street, not to the person you think deserves it more because their life looks shinier than yours. To your house. Good news with shoes on. Good news with keys. Good news that carries your name written in a handwriting you recognize as mine, because somehow it calms you just to look at it. Prepare a place for it as you would make a bed for a long-traveled friend. Make space on your table, clear the old bills of guilt, move the plates of worry, wipe the crumbs of disappointment. I am not coming as another delivery to sign for, I am coming as the owner of the house returning what was stolen, fixing what was warped, brightening what was dimmed, breathing where you had forgotten to breathe deeply. You asked me to prove that this is for you. Notice the way your heart leans forward when you read these words. Notice the way your inner storm forgets its thunder. Notice the small, precise peace that slides into the room like light under a door. This is how I prove myself, not by tricking your eyes but by settling your spirit until even your shadows get quiet. If you wait for a perfect situation, you will wait past the garden of your answered prayer. If you act now, you will find that the ground meets your foot with kindness. Your step will not sink, it will sing. I know the voices that have bitten your courage. Some are wrapped in old promises that were never kept. Some come as jokes that were not jokes. Some arrive in concern that tries to hold your ankle while calling itself love. I am cutting those ropes. I am removing the splinters of phrases that had no business living inside your memory. Do you feel the soft ache as they leave? That is the pain of healing, not harm. I will not leave scar tissue where I decided to make you new. Your sensitivity was never your weakness, it was the instrument through which you could hear me. They taught you to be numb, and numbness tried to call itself wisdom. I am restoring your feelings so your discernment returns, your joy tastes, your hope touches. There is someone who misread you, and there is someone who pretended not to understand you. One day soon, they will see what I have placed on you and they will wonder if it was sudden. It was not sudden, it was sanctified. Bless them and move on. Your call is not to win arguments, it is to carry light. Light does not debate darkness, it enters and darkness forgets what it was saying. The next time you walk into a room, do not measure your value by the welcome you receive. Measure it by the awareness that I came with you. If you sense a tremble in your bones, it is not fear, it is the resonance of purpose waking up all the way. You asked me about timing, and I answer you plainly, the delay was not denial, it was design. I hid you like a seed because the weather was not yet your friend. If you had sprouted when you wanted, a false spring would have smiled at you and a late frost would have taken you. I loved you enough to wait. Now I love you enough to say go. Some doors will look like walls until you touch them. Put your hand on what you thought was a barrier and watch it swing. Put your name where you were certain it would be ignored and watch it be chosen. Put your yes in the very place your no had camped, and watch a road appear where you had only drawn a line. Archangel Michael stands beside you with armor that does not rust. He has watched you sit with your back to the future because the past kept tapping your shoulder. He has watched you rehearse loss as if loss were a language you must stay fluent in. He says, look forward. The battle behind you has been concluded in your favor. The paper has been signed. The gate has been cleared. He reminds you that courage is not loud, it is faithful. He points to your front door and tells you to open it for the good news I promised. You will hear it in the ordinary sounds, a message that arrives at a gentle hour, a call from a voice that finally speaks truth, a knock that is not trouble but turning. Open immediately. Do not try to skip this. I am softening the official who was once unmovable. I am warming the room you thought would stay cold. I am placing your name on a page where it will not be erased. I am sending help that looks like a person, and I am sending help that looks like an idea. Welcome both. When you feel me nudge you to take the smaller step, do not despise it because it is small. Small steps are how mountains agree to move. You want the summit, I give you the path. You want the trumpet, I teach you the breath. You want the sudden, I honor you with the steady. And then, when steady becomes your second nature, I will give you sudden also. There will be a tender reconciliation in an area that aches when you say its name. Do not script it ahead of time. Let humility write it, not fear. If it must be a hello without a return, let it be a hello that sets you free anyway. If it must be a boundary, let it be a boundary that protects love rather than punishes.